Hello, hello, and welcome to the Garden Gazette issue number 8. We're talking about love and relationships this week. This week, I'm going to address the question, why can't I find quality men? Sister, I have been there. I understand it. My name is Iworiosa. I'm an initiated spiritual guide and a love attraction coach. My temple is Moon Garden Temple. You can find it at moongardentemple.com. Sister, I lived there. For a long time in my life, there was this period where I just did not believe that quality men existed. And it doesn't even make sense because I grew up, I had a great relationship with have a great relationship with my father. I had great male friends in my life. I've not really had like big traumas with men. And then boom, there was this era where it was all narcissism and drug addicts and very manipulative men. And so yes, I lived there for a while. There aren't quality men. I don't see them, not real. I had to go through some wound healing and some trauma healing around that and some ceremony and ritual and therapy. And so I got myself out of that. But I understand that there are many circumstances under which someone would feel that there are no quality men. But I'm here to tell you that there are so many and they're everywhere and you can find them. But the first thing that you need to do is be able to believe it. That's what we're talking about today is what you can do to sort of reverse that for yourself so that you're not walking around feeling like that no quality men is a true thing. It's not. So that's the first thing. And I've said this so many times if you've been watching the Garden Gazette or listening to the Garden Gazette, is that you really do need to believe it to see it, right? I love this example. This might feel a little woo-woo to some people, but do you remember in Star Trek and they had those like notepads basically that they could like read stuff on and have like schematics from the ship and like talk to people and send messages and everything? That was, Star Trek started in like 1989 or like 1990 or something like that. That was just something that somebody thought up, that they saw in their mind and they created. Fast forward to like 30 years later, maybe 25 or 30 years later, we have iPads that are exactly what they were using in Star Trek. I know that's a nerdy reference, but I just want you to remember that there's nothing in this world, material thing or experience, that was not thought of and engaged with that it could be true before it became true. So first is your belief. If you have any shadow of a doubt that there are quality men out there, then it's time to do that inside soul searching of understanding why you don't believe it. And yeah, some of our trauma is going to come up. Some of the stuff that is ugly and maybe we're embarrassed about is going to come up, but I promise you it is worth it. What you really want is a quality man in your life, or maybe you're dating, you want quality men in your life. You do need to do a lot of deep internal work if that is not your experience right now. So belief, that's the first thing. The second is the list. Now, I know that there are so many sort of philosophies and practices out there that talk about make your list, be really specific and everything. But some of those ideas are incomplete. Just making a list is not enough, but it is important. And this is the part I'm going to add to it that might be a good change for you if you are trying to change this in your life and attract this quality man into your life. And that is, make your list, be real specific about what you want in a relationship and what you want in a man, right? But after you are real specific about that, get clear on the feelings, emotions, and essence of what that feels like to you, the vibration, the energetics of what these specific things you've written down feel like to you. Those are the things that you spend time with and make a relationship with and look for and engage with in your life to become that lighthouse, that magnet to attract the man or the men that you are looking for. I can tell you, I don't like saying this a lot on the internet because I feel like there's a lot of bullshit out there and there's a lot of sort of glamorizing certain things and making it feel like it's not real work and that you can just have it like that. And I will never promise that to you, but I will say that something that happened for me was that I used to make my list and do this practice like I'm sharing with you with the essence, emotions, and feelings. And when I'd have an experience, or every year or two, I would go and evolve, because I was evolving, I would go and evolve my list. Well, the last time I did that was probably like 2 or 3 years, maybe more, before I met my soulmate. And I can say that within a few months of our relationship, and I realized, wow, this is the real deal. This is the real thing that I've been dreaming about. I went to go find my list, and I had now my list was pages. I was real specific. And I also had not just the things that I wanted, but also the essence, emotions. And I got really familiar with those things before I kind of like gave my list up and stopped looking. I didn't look at it every day, right? It had been a few years. I looked at that list, and in my relationship and partnership, I got every single thing I wanted except for 2 things. I'm not joking. Every single thing I wanted except for 2 things. One of those things didn't matter to me anymore. As I said, I made this list years before I met my partner now. And the second thing was something that changed within me when I met my partner. So it is very real. If you knew my history of the people, the eras of my life, if you knew my history, you would think, oh, that is impossible for her. I thought it was impossible for me, but it is very, very possible with the very simple method that I'm explaining to you right now when it comes to your list. So, and I also can say that, like, when I got really good at understanding the essence and the feelings and the emotions, the vibrations of everything I wanted, I went from an era of experiencing manipulative, mean, horrible men to an era of really awesome dating and partnerships in my life. They weren't forever people, because at that point I did start to want, like a forever person, but they got better. I started to really enjoy, like, even when those relationships didn't work out, like they didn't work out in a good way, and everybody was good and respectful and trustworthy even in the breaking off of it, until I came to this guy who's now meets everything on my list. So get really clear on the essence and the vibration and feelings and emotion of the things that you actually want. And for those of you, now I've helped women for a very long time, like, maybe over 20 years, and especially as a love attraction coach, and for at least a decade on these specific things, especially when it comes to a list and being clear about it. And I can say a lot of women are not asking for or communicating their desires, the things that they desire and the qualities of men, in a way that is fully effective. There are things that they are missing. They're not asking always for the right things. Now, that is not a dig on you and what you want. It's not at all. I'm just saying that your list, or what you're saying that you want, might not be complete if what you are searching for is that soulmate for that forever love. So before I go on, because there's something else I want to share with you that will help you with squashing this belief of there are no quality men. If you are wanting to have a better dating life, if you are really, especially if you are wanting to come together with like a soulmate and like a really manifest an amazing relationship, I am doing, starting November 3rd, a list. I'm putting out a video every day. They're shorter than these videos. A video every day that talks about specific quality. Every day will be 12 qualities of quality men of integrity, men that are trustworthy and respectful. These are things that I've compiled over my experience, but also of, hundreds of women that I've worked with on this very subject, and being in this study and observing it. These are things that you are going to want to add to your list in part or in whole. And they're things that sometimes I think women often miss when they are looking for that quality that to come together, a soulmate, to manifest that man in their life where they can feel empowered and unfiltered and free. That kind of love. It's like a kind of love that I can explain, but I can't really explain it. You got to experience it, and it's for you. I did not think it was for me, and I found it, so it can be for you as well. So if you want that list, please sign up. It's not coming out on my regular feed or any of my social medias. Do sign up. The link is in this video somewhere. Somewhere it's linked around here, and you will be able to find it on my website too at www.moongardentemple.com. You will be able to find that list, and anytime after November 3rd, you can sign up. I suggest you go there now. Okay. So the other thing is that, and this is the last thing I'll say in this video, is if you are plagued with this idea of that there aren't any quality men, You got to look at your current environment. This is something that I definitely overlooked for myself. The first is your friends. First, let's just look at the women. Do women say they hate men around you? Are women talking about men in a negative way? Even if men have done negative things, you know, I'm talking about past venting. I'm talking about going past that and just categorizing men in a bad light, or making them sound stupid or whatever. That environment, even if you don't believe it for yourself, that will affect you in how you interact with men. And by the way, relationships, whether we want them to be or not, are a community event. So even if you're private in your relationship, even me, like I'm private in my relationship, the minute that you start talking to people about your relationship, or people observe your relationship, they will send energy back in words, in energetics, in the way they interact with you or consider you. So if you are around women who are talking poorly of men, that's something to really think about if you want that to affect how you think about men, consciously or unconsciously, or how it affects men around you that could be quality men that don't want to be around that chatter. Okay? So that's part of your environment. Another part of your environment is, who are the men in your life? Are they men of integrity and truth and respect? How are they interacting with you and other women around them? Are they, even if they're not somebody that you want to be with, are they people who maybe exemplify qualities of men that you would want to be with? How do they talk about women and treat women? Okay, so these are things that you want to be very clear about in your environment. And the other thing about your environment, and this maybe, I know a lot of people might think that this is controversial, but are there relationships around you in your environment that resemble the type of relationship that you want? So for example, if you are in a community that is polyamorous, okay, and what you want is a monogamous relationship, it's going to be very difficult for you to be in a world where they're around potential partners that have the mindset of monogamy. All right. It's that whole thing where we show up and we might want to try to change how somebody thinks. Don't go into relationships or dating or whatever, trying to change how somebody thinks ever, or how they are, or their nature. No, that doesn't work. You could be monogamous. You could be in a world of a lot of monogamy and want to, maybe you're not looking for that soulmate. Maybe you're looking for soulmates, and you would have an awesome time in like being in polycules and being in polyamory. It's going to be very difficult for you when you're constantly surrounded in an environment of people who are not interested in that at all. We grow up in a relationship in a community. So look at your environment. So we have beliefs. We have how you interact with your list of what you desire, adding the vibration and emotion and feeling. And then we also have your environment. Okay. So for those of you, I'm going to say it again. If what you want is to have more quality men in your life, in your dating, or especially those of you who want to experience that soulmate experience, come together with your person, I'm creating a list. I have the title here. It's called The List: Recognizing and Attracting Quality Men. Sign up now. The link is somewhere around this video or on my website, moongardentemple.com. And starting November 3rd, and anytime on beyond that, every day you will get a video. It's 12 videos that talk about these qualities that you want to include on your list that will help, not only help you attract what it is that you're seeking, but also help you recognize those the qualities in a relationship that is lasting, and that will help you be empowered, like find partners where you will be empowered and unfiltered, and that really deep love that that is one of the best things to experience on this earth. Okay, so thank you for listening to this issue of the Garden Gazette. Next week will be Roots and Spirit. And please, wherever you are watching this, subscribe, like, follow, comment, even if it's like a thumbs up or a heart or whatever. That really helps me get all of this out there. Big love and blessings. I'm Iworiosa. Mwah, mwah, mwah. See you next week.